Now, following the explosive 15 million naira bribery allegations involving the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, and the popular crossdresser Bobrisky, the federal government on Thursday suspended 2 officers of the Nigerian Correctional Service who were suspected to be complicit in the scandal. The 2 officers suspended over the bribery allegations include Michael Anugwa, Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of the Medium Security Custodial Center, and Sikiru Adekunle, the Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of the Maximum Security Custodial Center in Lagos. Bobrisky had alleged in a viral audio recording that his, and I quote, godfather, alongside the Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Haliru Nababa, had ensured that he serve his 6-month sentence in a private apartment and not in the prison. Well, let's now speak with the Rise News analyst Dayo Sobowale on the suspension of top officers at the Nigerian Correctional Service over alleged infractions involving Bobrisky and how to sanitize the nation's prison system. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program.
It's a pleasure being here.
Right, corruption in the prison system and even in the judicial system is something we've discussed at length over the months and over the years. Yeah. What's your initial takeaway from the story that initially sounded a bit laughable when it came out, but now seems to have some far-reaching implications?
That's right. In fact, in this day today, there is an article on it in the center spread. I will highlight on that later. But you see, my initial reaction is that, you see, the concept of a prison being called a correctional center in Nigeria, you can see it is being abused now. It is being abused. You see, you are not developed enough for that sort of conceptual change. To say, we've always had Nigeria prison services. Nigeria prison service. In fact, at a stage, they were so much involved in athletics that the Nigerian relay quartet had people from prison service. And they kept people where they should be. Now we are borrowing from developed nations. We have people, a man in Holland killed about 20 youths at a party conference. They tried him for 5 years, and they gave out a picture of where he was. You think he was in a 5-star hotel. That is over there, not here. We need to deter people seriously from committing crime. But you see, what the article I read said was that all these allegations, people have immediately believed them, which means that is the corner we have boxed, we have boxed ourselves now, that with abnormal things, we have gotten used to them. How can you pay 15 million, you get me, just to convert your charge or your crime? Or people are put in prison and they go to their house. People are, okay, what you see, the end product of that article was that anything, any pronouncement in the court can be bought over and changed. That people don't go to prison, they go to their houses, they buy the conditions and negate the deterrence inherent in court orders because they have the money and because we have corrupt officers. So it's a pity these people have been sent on suspension. I don't like media trial. I don't like media trial. They should have been given a query first, let them put their defense down, and then the investigation can go on while they are on suspension. But then, unbelievably, the legislature acted fast this time around. That is supposed to be their own, how do I put it, supervisory oversight duty. I'm happy about that. But it's a very sad story that the criminal justice system is being bought over. It's being perverted by criminals. You see, we need reforms. It was the reform that made us to start calling them custodial institutions, correctional institutions. But it seems they are abusing that concept of correction now, turning it into a hotel situation. There's no deterrence. So government has to move fast to adjust. You see, they are following this they were not called correctional custodial institutions before. The Nigeria Prison Service. And when you see the word prison, you get me? It frightens people. They don't want to go there. But if you call it correctional now, it's like we are being civil, and they think it's an entertainment center, not really a correctional center. So it shows it's a sad commentary on the corruption in our country, in our judicial system, and abuse of office by those who should know better and who should be involved in the so-called correctional activities. So let's leave it at that for now.
What's that, Mr. Sobowale? One touch on what you talked about, the speed of the legislature, in this case, acting so quickly, and also the need for reforms. Now, but there are some arguments that this swift action is actually based on the response to public outrage, and it's not coming from genuine commitment to reform. So my question is, how would you assess Nigeria's correctional services overall approach when it comes to discipline and accountability?
Okay, I do agree with you that
Sure.
what the legislature has done is not in good spirit. Is in good spirit. If they didn't respond, what would you have done? There's nothing we could have done. But they acted swiftly, and it's because they acted. That is why the correctional institution is taking these people to task. In other times, they may say it is social media. Yeah. They will say disinformation. It could end up being that anyway at the end of the day, because you remember the case of the couple who thought their passport and were fighting, and they said they just made it up. Get me? So we have to be careful. We have to verify situation. That's why I said these officers, they should be presumed innocent until found guilty. You don't know what they will say, but then the story is so. The irony of it is that the story, as fantastic and as criminal, as fraudulent as it is, everybody has believed it. You get me? Yeah. Which means that is the norm here. It's a damnable situation, and it shows that integrity has taken a flight out of the window in our correctional institutions. Something should be done about that. But my take is the major reform, change the name back to prisons, or call it detention center, or something nasty, so that people know that if you commit crime, you don't end up living, you are sentenced to prison, you don't end up living in an hotel or in your house, or buy your way out of the punishment. It's antisocial.
Yeah. Right. Some people, and just to echo what Cynthia is saying, some people have even gone as far as to say that this process has moved so quickly because of an imminent cabinet reshuffle that's coming along, and maybe the minister responsible for this wants to just show that he's very busy and that his office is extremely...
They are not reshuffling the... See, when people,
the presidency has confirmed that there will be a cabinet reshuffle.
You have heard that?
Yes, they made an official statement this time.
Ghana.
Yes.
Yes, that is immaterial. To me, it is important that these legislators have moved fast. It's important. If they have not moved, what would they have done? But you see, the legislation is different from the cabinet. You get me? Unless, of course, you are saying that the Minister of Interior, you get me, under whose purview this falls into, that's the only person who should be bothered now. You get me? Even the Minister of Justice should be bothered. You get me? The judiciary too should be bothered. Because, you see, they say the mills of justice may grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. But then, see the swiftness of the legislation. That's swift justice. Swift justice. But then, you should make it slowly. That's what I said. So as not to provide the cost of justice. These people should be presumed innocent until found guilty. Not given a social media trial and condemned. They should be given the right to defend themselves. It's a pathetic story, but due process must be followed.
Well said, Mr. Sobowale. Yeah. And of course, in the past, we've seen numerous allegations of corruption within the prison system for a number of years now. So why do you think it took this high-profile situation to prompt action? What do you think it says about the oversight mechanisms?
What is happening is that the actors involved are social media actors.
Okay.
and they are media-seeking, publicity, hunting individuals. You get me? So that is why. That is why. And actually, I was not terribly interested in it. You get me? But since it has gone viral, so at my club yesterday, they were discussing this thing. I didn't know it would be the topic that I would be taking on. No, I don't.
And what are they saying? What's the feel on from your club?
They were as excited as I was when I got this topic. And then when I read through the whole thing, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. It portrays our custodial apparatus in very bad light. Get me? And EFCC, EFCC to move fast. Mm-hmm. EFCC to move fast. At first I was suspicious, why would the EFCC head get really involved? But then their reputation is at stake, their corporate reputation, and the integrity of their officers, their prosecution, their processes. So I'm happy everybody has moved fast. So let us for once commend them on that, with the speed. All you can say is that they should put that speed on display in other areas that I know you want to talk about.
Higher Bello is a great place to start.
Let's agree on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this has been a very interesting and insightful discussion. We'd like to thank you, as always, for your time. Rise News analyst, Mr. Dayo Sobowale. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.